Hey guys, welcome to my channel. So I filmed this very fall look. It's super cute. I like the way it came out. So to start off, I already have my eyelids primed and eyebrows done. For most of this, I use the Zulu by Juvia's Place, and using the top 3 shades only in this palette. I first go in with that yellow shade and a kind of dome shaped brush. I kind of packed the shadow on top of, or I packed the shadow in my crease, and then with that same brush I use it to blend out, but just a little bit. I don't blend out too much with this brush, and that's basically what the technique that I'll be doing for the next couple of shades. But to blend out the shadows, I take a fluffier clean brush, no additional product on it, and I blend out the edges just to make sure it is diffused enough. And then after that shade, I go in with the orange shade right next to it, and again using that dome brush and packing the shade from the outer. I do work it into the inner corner of the eyelid just like the yellow, and then blend out a little bit with that brush, but like I said, not too much, because after that again we go in with that fluffy brush. I did add just a teeny tiny bit of orange to the fluffy brush, but not too much. It's mainly just a clean brush. I'm going back and forth with making sure it blends out into the yellow as much as possible. And then after that after that shade, I use the brown shade. I was gonna say orange. I use the brown shade with a smaller kind of like packing brush, I guess. I use that to pack the shade onto my lid, and I make sure not to go too far up into the crease, because as you blend up it's gonna go up. You don't want it to be all brown. You still want that orange and yellow to kind of peek through. So I just pack that on, and then with that same brush I kind of blend it out. I do, on this fluffy brush this time, I did add a teeny tiny bit of the orange and the brown mixed together just to make sure it blends out perfectly. But if I'm honest, this brown came off more as red, so I went into the Saharan 2 by Juvia's Place, and I take an even darker brown, and basically the same technique. I use that same brush that I used for the other brown, and I pack it onto my eyelid. And then once I have that color built up, again I take that fluffy brush and kind of blend back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You know the drill. Same all the time. You gotta blend, you gotta blend, you gotta blend, you gotta blend, you gotta blend. It's kind of boring, but you know, once you get it, you get it. And then I thought about adding a winged eyeliner, but I didn't want a black winged eyeliner, so instead I used this liquid lipstick by Lime Crime called Shroom. At first I wasn't too sure about it, but now I think it's okay. And I didn't get a good clip of me adding my lashes, so here's a boring clip of me adding mascara and only mascara for you. I think this is like the most boring part of makeup, honestly, but I do add lashes after this. They're Morphe. I think I used the shade Seduction. I can't remember. No, this is Hot Stuff. Wait, I'm not sure. I'll have it in the description just in case you're interested. But now I'm just putting on primer with this brush, because my fingers were dirty as F. And then I'm using foundation by Wet n Wild, and also this NYX Away We Glow stuff, and I mix this in together. This foundation I'm not a huge fan of, so, but I wanted to use it with these drops because I never used it with these drops before, and it was okay. It was this foundation is pretty dry on me anyway, so I thought I would just try it with the drops to see if maybe it would make a difference, and it did. It wore very nicely. And then after that I do add a teeny tiny bit, well, not a teeny tiny bit because that's kind of a lot, but I add some what is that called, concealer, Sharp Shape Tape concealer, and I blend it out with a brush first, but I don't blend it out fully, because after that I use this applicator that came in the Wet n Wild Cushion foundation to blend out the rest of it. I love this foundation the foundation applicator so much for some reason. I don't know why, but I like to pat my makeup, or pat it over my makeup once I'm done. And then with the Too Faced Born This Way Ethereal Powder, I set under my under eyes, places where I normally crease. So under eyes, my smile lines, those bitches crease on me so freaking much. And my forehead normally gets oily along with my nose, but I don't leave that on for too long. So while that's baking and setting a little bit, I go in with the Wet n Wild pressed powder, and I kind of set the rest of my face. This powder is so good. Like, I have really dry skin, and this doesn't make it look dry, if you know what I mean. And so once I'm done applying that, I brush off that powder that I had from Too Faced off of my skin. And then after that, I line my waterline with black eyeliner, obviously. And then with the, how many times am I going to say in then? I have to stop. Using the yellow and orange shade from the first Juvia's Place palette that we used, I'm going to smoke out the lower lash line, and you want to smoke it out. Like, smoke it out. And I'm not gonna say and then. After that, I use this shade from, what is it called? Renaissance palette, Anastasia Beverly Hills Renaissance palette, and I use that to highlight the inner corner and my brow bone. And then using the Anastasia contour kit, I use that shade and also that warm shade that was to the other side of it, to bronze my face all over the place. That kind of rhymed. So I use it on my cheeks, and then I use it on my forehead, my tiny ass forehead, and also I think I use it on my nose. Yeah, I do. I use the cooler tone on my nose just for a little bit of a nose contour. I cannot talk today. You get it. And then using this Ofra Cosmetics Bliss highlights, which is so freaking good. I've had this for a very long time, but I don't use it often, and for some reason I decided to use it while filming this, and I kind of like fell in love with it. It's so good. I can't believe it. And then I use liquid lipstick by Anastasia. This is in the shade Catherine, and I kind of line my lips and then rub it into my lips, because I feel like it's a lot more comfortable wearing liquid lipsticks like this anyway, but it doesn't give you a nice crisp line, which I kind of like on my lips sometimes, most of the time. So after that, I do use a NYX retractable lip liner to kind of go over the edges of my lips to kind of make it, you know, really smooth. And that is it for this video. I'm so out of breath with this voiceover, but look at that highlight. All right, see you guys next time. Bye.